Live from the Big G's Pizza Studio on Clark Street, this is 5 Songs with Friends, Chicago's music discovery podcast. Naxatras is a hard psychedelic rock band from Greece. One of my favorite new bands that I've heard in the last year. Ladies and gentlemen, I have Giannis of the band here on the phone. Giannis, how you doing, man?
Hey, man, I'm good. What about you?
Oh, I'm amazing, dude. I'm so happy to have you on because, like I said, my buddy Sharif, who's also been on the show as a guest in the longer format of the show, came on and shared the song in the past, and he shared it with me back in November or October of last year, and I loved it. Like, it's such a great song that like combines a bunch of different genres in like this cool way that it just builds up, and it's just there's so much going on. It's such an awesome song, but I'm very honored to have you on the show today.
Oh, thank you for having us, man. We're really happy to be here too.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So what's going on? How does psychedelic rock music make it to Greece? That's not usually a hotbed for this type of music. Like, how did you guys get into making this type of music?
Well, it has to do with what we were listening to, of course. Like, we're very huge fans of the 60s and 70s psychedelic and progressive rock stuff. And also like the 90s stoner rock scene, like, Caius, from Pink Floyd to Caius, like we love all this kind of stuff. And we just, me and John, the guitar player, we're on the same university at the film school of Thessaloniki. And we were speaking about music and just decided to jam. We liked it and made it into a band.
Nice. I love it, man. So how many people are in the band total right now?
3 people. We used to be 4 very early on in the band, but we're 3 people.
Interesting.
Bass, guitar, and drums mainly. Power trio.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, definitely that's a great way to put it, man. So are you guys, where are you at in the stage of the band right now? Are you guys writing music? Are you kind of playing a lot of shows on the music you already have? Or like what stage are you at?
Now we're mainly playing like shows like on the cycle of our third album. We have went on 2 Greek tours and 2 European. Now tomorrow we're starting the second European tour that stems from this album, and so we're going to hit some festivals in the summer in Europe, and then to Australia for the first time in September.
Oh, fantastic. I'm sure Australia loves your music.
Yeah, I think it's going to be cool. Many people are already like sending us, "Oh, you're going to come to Australia and stuff." Yeah, so I guess it'd be nice. We definitely want to come to the USA at some point too.
Yeah, well, we would also love to have you here, man. You guys have such a great sound. I'm looking at it, like where people listen to you guys from, and it seems like it's pretty much like all over the world. Like, you have fans in Mexico, you have fans in Turkey, you have fans in Chile, like France, like all over the place. So that's got to be pretty cool to have like this such a global reach with your music, right?
That's beautiful, man. Yeah, we love it, of course.
Yeah, great stuff, man. So, from like a gear standpoint, like how, like for anyone who's looking to kind of get into psychedelic rock, are there any like tips or like any gear or anything like you have that, because I know obviously you mentioned Caius and like that whole shoegaze kind of genre, like they're notorious for their pedals and stuff. Are there any things like that you guys do differently that other bands might want to try to replicate in some fashion?
I think, of course, I wouldn't say it like to replicate, but I think we try to do pretty much the opposite of all of this. Like, we started playing with very, very minimal setup. Like, for the bass, I used to have only a big mouth drive and a wah pedal. And the guitar player, John, only had overdrive pedal and wah and the delay. Just like very minimal stuff. No idea about amplifiers at first, just so it was a kind of positive thing for us because we concentrated on the music itself, because the music itself has to be trippy if you're playing like this kind of music. No matter how many pedals that you're going to stick up, if the music is not trippy by itself, it's not going to be really good psychedelia, I think.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What does the songwriting process look like for you guys? Because I know, like, especially with I Am the Beyonder, it kind of starts with this one riff and just builds. So, like, what does that process look like for you guys?
For the example of I Am the Beyonder, it is a pretty like standard way of us to work, like from a very early idea. Like John had this guitar riff, and he had like the whole concept in his head that he wanted it to be building up and up, and he had some riffs for along the way. So we started jamming until we found like how many bars it's going to be for each part of the build-up, and what grooves me and Kostas the drummer are going to play. And then I had this other riff, which is like the second part of the song, which is very much slower and different than the first one, but it's on the same key. And it was like we thought it fit pretty nicely with the rest of the song, and we made it into the second part with the vocals as well. So we stuck them two together.
Nice. Yeah, it turned out really well. Like I said, it's like one of my favorite songs that I've heard recently. Is there anything else that we need to know about the song before we jump into it? Any other stories or anything like that?
Well, just maybe the fact that the Beyonder is actually a Marvel guy from the Marvel universe. He's like a dimension by himself. He's the embodiment of a whole dimension. That's all I want to say.
Wow. All right. I love it. Good to hear. Let's jump into it. This is a song called I Am the Beyonder by Naxatras. So that was I Am the Beyonder by Naxatras. So also, we talked before the call. I'm pronouncing it wrong, and I think the Greek pronunciation is way cooler than the way I'm saying it. So what is the proper way to say your band's name?
Well, we call ourselves Naxatras.
Oh, see, that is so much cooler. Naxatras.
Yeah, so. Most people call us Naxatras, and it's not wrong. It's just like another way to pronounce it.
Wow. Well, I appreciate your tolerance, I guess, of all these different pronunciations. That's cool. What's the origin of the band name itself?
The band name comes from the term in Hindu astrology, which is like Naxatras in the Hinduism, is the different phases of the moon. There are 27 Naxatras in the lunar cycle. And we just thought it sounded pretty cool and fitting with the music, and we used it. Yeah, I think it's a very fitting name for sure.
Well, so you mentioned you guys you're touring a lot or been playing some shows in Greece and stuff. What is the music scene like for psychedelic rock or rock in general in Greece? I mean, is it pretty bustling? Are there a lot of bands coming up, or is it hard to find shows? Like, what does that landscape look like?
To be honest, it's really great these past few years, like maybe for 5 years now. There are many bands that have made an entrance into the scene, and older bands that now are getting the reputation that they deserved from the very beginning. Like, I don't know if you have any idea about the 1000 Mods or Night Stalker. These are 1000 Mods is probably the most famous band in Greece right now in the rock music genre. But I mean, they are the most famous, but there are many bands that are having shows and playing in full house venues. It's pretty nice. I mean, if you take a look at the comment section whenever a Greek rock album is uploaded, everybody's like, what the fuck? Why do you guys in Greece have so good stoner music? I don't know why, really.
That's I love it. It definitely catches you off guard at first, but like it sounds like there's a movement kind of being created. It sounds like.
Yeah, it's true. And it's because people are digging it and supporting it a lot, both in Greece and outside of Greece.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so on that kind of note, I know you said they're called 1000 Modes. Is that what they're called?
Yes, 1000 Modes or 1000 Modes.
Awesome. Are there any other kind of underground, under the radar artists that you guys have maybe been playing with or you're friends with that you think people deserve to listen and you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, sure. Well, let me think about it. There is one very cool band called Tuber, and they play instrumental post-rock stuff, but not very melancholic. It's more like powerful and groovy. And also there is the Steams, a psychedelic rock band. And there is Def Radio, which is a big difference. Sounds a bit more like Queens of the Stone Age, and like this early 2000 kind of vibe, but still like a very tight band. You should check them out.
Awesome. Yeah, I definitely will. Well, so tell me a little bit, like, so what does the future hold for you guys? I know you mentioned, you're touring on this third album. You've got some kind of dates up, but like, what is kind of the next big horizon for you guys?
When we finish with the majority of the shows that we have planned, which is like in September, we will start getting deeper into the new material, because we have already quite a lot of song ideas, but not very developed yet. And we want to go in the studio for some months and play, jam, until it all is ready. And then we want to make the recording. Hopefully, it will be released next year if all goes well. And we want it to be, of course, the best album we will have made until now. You know how it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, can you highlight a little bit of, because I think you have a unique, a unique sound, and like this genre is very unique in terms of just the way that songs are written. Like, what is that process like? Like, how long does it take you to come up with the final product of a song like I Am the Beyonder?
It is getting longer with the years. When we started, I Am the Beyonder, we had been playing this song for, I don't know, 2 years, maybe more, both in concerts and in rehearsals. So when we went to the studio, and this is the same for all the songs we have for the first album we made, and we just recorded them in one day straight. 8 songs one day, all live.
Wow.
And that was it. Yeah, on cassette tape. So it was
That's
very
insane.
fun.
That is crazy,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. We just took 2 days to set up the sound, and then one day to get the takes done and finished. But the third album took much more than that. I mean, it took like maybe 18 days to complete the recording. But still, I think 18 days is quite fast for today's standards. Most bands they want to take more time in the studio to perfect everything, but we are more like in the live direction. We want the listener to be getting the vibe that he will get in a concert.
Yeah, and I think you guys do a really good job of replicating that, which is a hard thing to do.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so let's wrap it up here, man. Where can people follow Naxatras? I'm gonna just say it the way that I wanted to say because I know I can't say it the cool way. But how can people follow you guys, stay in touch with you?
Facebook, Instagram. We also have Spotify, iTunes, and Bandcamp for if someone wants to buy our releases or listen to them, and YouTube, of course, as well. But for contact, Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome, man. Well, Giannis, thanks so much for coming on the show, dude. This was a pleasure. I'm such a huge fan of yours, and I'm excited to see where the future takes you. And I really hope that you guys come to the United States very soon because I would love to see you guys live.
Thank you very much for having us, man. You're great, and we really hope the same. So maybe see you in the States.
Awesome, man. Sounds great. Thanks, dude.
Thanks. Bye.